Um, I'm ready. Are you guys ready back there? I guess you are if I'm on stream. Cool. Well, let's start this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, start. Oh, I'm so dumb. Actually, you have to. If you can start the timer again, or
Wow.
it's it's fine. It's fine. We'll just remove 10 seconds. Yeah, yeah. If you can do that manually. But yeah, so welcome everybody to this game is called Gunple Gunman's Proof. It was not released in the United States or in Europe either. It was only released in Japan. So most people probably have never played this game. Most people probably have never even heard of it. By the way, I'm TM or Thunder Mustache. On my couch, I have
Darrow.
Exhaust. And Labros.
Labradus. So yeah, thanks for couching, and thanks everyone who's in the crowd. Wow, there's people. Um, so yeah, this game. First of all, you'll notice the text is Japanese. Like I said, it was only released in Japan, and it was released rather late. It was a January 1997 release, which makes kind of sense because you'll notice that this game is very heavily inspired by A Link to the Past, which came out only like 4 years before.
Rip
So-
off.
Yeah, it's basically a ripoff. It's got a lot of different elements in the game, though. You do not have a sword. You instead have a gun, and the basic gun will have an infinite amount of bullets. We'll see that later. I guess I should probably go over the plot a little bit, even though I haven't really brushed up on it, and I basically forgot from my first playthrough. I didn't mention, but the first time I played this on the English translation. This is the only reason I got to play it, because it isn't perfectly linear. You do have to figure out what to do, and you do need NPCs to help you out. But yeah, I'm playing on Japanese version, the only official version. So you won't be able to know what happens by reading the text, obviously. So what's going on right now is these two space aliens, space sheriffs is what they call them, just drop by in this town, which I don't know the name of, and well, they're after what's called the demi-seeds. The demi-seeds are controlled by this main enemy, I guess, the main antagonist of this game. It's called Demi. And he has a bunch of henchmen, I guess, that each own a dungeon. So it's very similar to A Link to the Past, I guess, in a way where you're just going to be navigating the world map, dungeon by dungeon. You'll unlock certain, not necessarily abilities, but I guess in one case there is an ability or two items that give you special access to certain parts of the map. So yeah. The space sheriffs can't quite do what they came to do in their current forms. So what they're doing right now is trying to convince our dude. I guess I'll call him Pretzel because I use the pretzel-looking kanji symbol. So this guy Pretzel is going to gladly offer himself for becoming or being incarnated, if you will, by one of the space sheriffs. So now he has some special powers or special will to fight off the demis. And now we get caught, so we need to go back to the village and explain ourselves to the family. So we're about to see the scene we're about to start actually playing. So everything so far was just a nice long cutscene. It's almost 5 minutes.
Good job, TM. You found something to say for 5 minutes straight.
Thanks.
One thing I'll mention is that the music for this game
Oh yeah.
is really good. Like, I know we say that for every game, but the music for this game is really good. Like, listen to this.
And there's quite a lot of text to mash throughout the game. And it gets kind of tiring, especially since you only have one button to advance text.
It's worse than Link to the Past?
It's much worse, because Link to the Past you can use any face button, even.
Oh yeah, you can even use like D-pad, right?
You can use on certain text boxes. You can use D-pad. You can use also L and R buttons. So it's much easier on the hands. Especially since I'm a tryhard and I try and mash as fast as I can for every single text box. So,
So, is there like an optimal movement for, or is it just like hold forward?
yeah, good idea to explain the pretty much main movement optimization. You want to maximize the diagonals, because you're basically moving at the same speed horizontally and vertically as you would if you were only holding a cardinal direction. As far as I know, that's pretty much how it works. So, diagonals as much as possible. And when you're in water, you go a lot slower, so you want to avoid that as much as possible. Ducking underwater, you might see me do that sometimes. It's absolutely useless. It's really just for... it's an excuse to press more buttons.
So, like, the main difference combat-wise is that you can hold the triggers, I think, to keep your angle, and you can also duck under bullets.
Yes,
so
exactly.
There's this more than A Link to the Past in this game.
Well, obviously, since you're using a gun instead of a sword, you kind of have a bit more... well, maybe, I guess you need a bit more...
mechanics?
Yeah, mechanics, or just like ways to utilize the gun to make it fair, I guess.
I see there's a score system. How does that work?
The score is completely useless. But actually, it's a good point, because at the end of every stage, or every dungeon, I say stage because that's kind of how the game makes it look, because there's a score screen after each dungeon.
Yeah.
And it's kind of important, because the score screen has different different things that keeps track of, and one of those things is the health you finish the dungeon with. Ideally, you finish with the least amount of health possible.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So you're gonna try and route in as much, a good amount of damage, so that you can end up...
First dungeon already?
Yeah. So here's a good usage of the strafing. I was using the R button to lock on my direction and be able to keep moving while I was aiming at the proper direction. So.
Also, you're not taking damage. You're not just bad, right?
Well, no, that damage there was the fastest way through that hallway. Just assume that I'm doing everything the fastest, right? So that's kind of the point. No, but really, I'm obviously taking a good amount of damage, but it's all planned.
So why do you want to take damage then?
Like I said, at the end of the dungeon, there's a score screen, and one of the elements that they keep track of is the health that you finish the stage with. And the more health you have, the more it counts down, so the more time you lose. So ideally, you finish with either 1 or a half health.
So this makes the run pretty risky, I guess.
Not really, because you'll see later that our pretzel dude has a couple lives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when he dies... Ooh, this TV's a bit weird.
John.
I missed that. Dang. So when he... still died. forgot what I was saying. I missed the quick kill there. It was a precise bomb that could have killed it killed the 3 parts of the first phase in just the one bomb blast, but I mistimed it a little bit.
So bombs are pretty useful for killing bosses, right?
Yes. So this was a good example of how good the bombs are. You could probably tell that it took a couple of bullets to beat each part of the first phase, but with the bomb you could get rid of all of them, and that's going to be the case for a lot of bosses coming up. Bombs are really important, and there's a couple enemies that will drop bombs, so we'll be hoping that they drop the bombs at the right moments. And now, what's going on is we found one of our old space sheriff pals who was sent to this planet a long time ago, and since then became a donkey. And he's going to be useful, especially at the end. He's like kind of part of your party now, but you won't see him unless a certain item drops. So the beginning of this game is everything is under control, if you will. There's no RNG that will affect the first 2 dungeons, but as soon as dungeon 3 hits, it gets pretty unforgiving, and you can lose a lot of time by just not having the drops at the right moment, or just not having them at all.
Do we have time for donation?
Oh, of course, yeah, anytime.
We have a $40 donation from Mumuni in
what's up?
French. Hey guys, on a presque $2000 de donation. GG guys. By the way, TM est un runner awesome. Allez tous le voir sur son channel et allez le follower.
Woo!
Let's go, TM.
Let's go TM.
Yo, thanks.
So
Good
for
of you,
those
bro.
that don't speak Franglish, we have almost $2,000 of donations. Good job, guys. TM is an awesome runner. Everyone can go on his channel and follow him. You should absolutely go and do that.
Super chill stream. Coziest place ever.
Thanks, Mooney, and good luck winning the bundle. By the way, for those who don't know, the reason why he, probably the reason why he donated $40 is that that's the amount you need to drop to be eligible in the HyperX bundle. Dude, show the products. We got a really cool bundle where...
So we got this mouse here, LED mouse, and then a mouse pad,
A Fury
mouse pad, and then a headset, a really cool headset. I think we were using these earlier, and they're really nice.
Yep.
So what I did right
And
now
there's a
was
keyboard.
I went
And
to...
popcorn.
Oh yeah, the keyboard. The keyboard's important. So I went to visit the sheriff. The sheriff was very impressed with our prowesses of obtaining the first demi-seed, which he had heard about. And he offered us a bounty for... Not this weapon. Okay, important. Important to get the first weapon, but not the second one. But yeah, so we got a bounty, which was pretty much just enough to get a new gun, which we'll be seeing not this dungeon, but the one next, the one after. And that's the only gun upgrade we'll be getting in the whole game, in the whole run. There are 4 total. And fun fact, there are 2 more if you look into the debug mode of the game that were not used in the game. There's like a flail and a drill. Those 2 weapons, those 2 weapons aren't featured in the game, but yeah, they're there. Second dungeon. So the thing about these dungeons is the way I'm playing through them, they look pretty small, but they're actually really, really large. You can get lost in them. There's mini bosses. There's a lot of upgrades that we're skipping. There's a lot of collectibles that really don't. They're actually points. That's all they're worth. So we definitely skip those. And yeah, if we follow the speedrun route, you won't see a lot of combat. Unfortunately, you will see some, like you will see more and more as the as we progress, but it's rather minimal in the first dungeons. It's especially just the rooms that are locked. Which is a concept, once again, that was taken from A Link to the Past. Very original. So this boss has 2 phases. Or no, he doesn't have 2 phases. He just has... okay, I got the quick kill there.
Nice.
He could have shot flamethrower. Oh, I need to take damage. He could have shot flames, and the flames animation... Oh, I died. That was dumb. I just stood in the hitbox. The flame animation takes like 6 seconds, so that's a good time save. And now I took a death, so as you can see, that's not very punishing. You just stand back up, get your health back.
Yeah.
And
But you got your health back, so that's bad, right?
yeah. I'm gonna have a longer countdown here on the score screen, but that's not.
Yeah, it's not as bad as restarting the dungeon.
Exactly. So yeah, second dungeon.
You have like what, 3 lives?
I start with 2 lives, but every dungeon I get an extra life. So by this point, I will have 3 extra lives. And it's important to keep track because from in the 3rd and the 4th dungeons that we'll be doing, not technically the 4th, but the 5th, because we're skipping a dungeon, we'll see that later. But the 3rd and the 4th dungeons will end in a death warp. So we need to kill ourselves enough that that we don't need to kill ourselves more. Like it would take us longer if we killed ourselves outside of the boss fight, is what I'm trying to say. Because during the boss, you're just usually waiting for him to die, and you can still take damage. That guy usually hits me. I avoided him. That was cool.
Are you saying this never happened before?
No, it's happened before. I'm just saying it usually. But I'd be surprised if something that I've never seen before happens in this run. But you never know.
Jinxed it.
Yeah, probably. We'll see.
So is there movement upgrades?
No. The movement remains very simple. It's really just walking. You walk at a pretty good pace, though, at a pretty good speed. So it's like somewhere in between walking and running when you're playing Legend of Zelda, if I had to compare it to that. Which I will a lot of times during the run, because it's just so similar. But yeah, I think it's a decent speed. Well, actually, I said there's no movement upgrade, but we just got the movement upgrade a bit earlier at the end of the first dungeon. But I'd rather keep that secret until it happens. You'll see later. It's pretty cool. I could have gotten the boost to the left. That's small optimization, but I like when it happens. I wasn't tight enough. This is all my fault. Now here, I can get bodied pretty bad, but it looks like a detour what I just did, but it's very important to manipulate the pelican, and I think I missed it. Yeah, okay. I took a lot of damage, but at least I didn't get knocked back down the stairs, because that happens pretty often. Happened in my PB, and if that had not happened, it was probably a new record there. It's just that single mistake cost a lot of time.
A record.
There we go. That was important for that to drop. If it didn't, I could have just went back into the room and farmed it, but it's unfortunate when it happens. You'd rather get it first try, or out of the first 6 tries, which should be pretty easy, since I have not mentioned this, but every drop that we need in the game is like a 25% chance. But only from the enemies that do drop the item I'm looking for. Similar to Link to the Past again, different enemies drop different stuff. So far, it's pretty bad. I'm supposed to have at least 1 bomb drop. If I don't get enough bombs, like naturally, I'll just try and farm a few. Because a lot of the, well, at least one other boss will depend on my bomb count.
So yeah, the main difference dungeon-wise, this versus Link to the Past, is that this is way more combat focused than Link to the Past. Like, there's not really any puzzles, right?
No, it's yeah, exactly. If you had to define this game, it would not be a puzzle game, puzzle type of game like Link to the Past. A lot of people would describe it that way. No, this game is really all about shooting the gun properly
And movement.
and movement.
And heart management.
Yeah. So here I want a lot of bombs. I'm not getting them. That's fine,
Oops.
but still no bombs. That's incredible. I'd like to have 3, but I only have 6 chances of the bombs dropping. So I'm gonna take that Uzi. I need it. I just want 1 more bomb. I'll be fine. But this is definitely like, this is normally a reset.
So every enemy has 25% chance to drop a bomb.
Only 2 of those enemies drop bombs. The ones that throw the bombs. Okay, this is pretty ridiculous.
Wow.
1 more try. If I don't get it, I'll just deal with it. Okay, well I'll
Nice.
take that Uzi. I still need it. That was yeah. That's a good way to showcase this game. Is
Quick donation from
oh yeah, go for it.
Mortriste.
Oh hey,
$10. Désolé, Mortriste, le deuxième mot de ta donation a été censure. On va essayer de le deviner. En retard, je crois. Mais présent, plus $1 par mort de la Scrub Team pendant Goof Troop. Goof Troop.
okay.
That's a Link to the Past, boss.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't mention, but this is definitely a boss we've seen before. He has 3 heads, like 3 heads that stick out instead of having only 2, and 1 that's like the main. It's the same boss. Now I lost track of how many lives I have. So now I want to be at 0 lives because, like I said, I'm setting up a death warp. It's faster to just kill yourself after this dungeon than to walk back to the town. So
how much damage does the gun do? You don't.
unfortunately, I really wish I could look into the damage values because nobody actually understands how the bombs work.
Wow.
The bombs, sometimes they just deal twice as much damage as they're supposed to. I say twice, but it's really
Berries.
it's really unknown, like how it works. I just found like the setups that work, and it's good enough for me.
These are Pokemon, I swear.
Pokemon. Can you name them?
I don't know. Swingle's evolution.
Yeah, that's basically Wingle. So that was a death, and the consequence is you do not lose your progress, but you will go back to the
Your
town.
house?
Yeah, the town right in front of your house. So here we're gonna collect the bounty, and we're gonna grab the cross. The cross will allow us to scare the ghost off. We haven't seen the ghost because he wasn't relevant up to this point. But now, yeah, we're gonna see the salesman. The salesman sells us a couple of important items that you can't progress without. And once we've scared the ghost off, we'll see the only glitch in the game. The only glitch that's, well, it is the only glitch we've found in the game so far. And it's the only application of this glitch. It seems like a very powerful glitch too, because it's basically gonna like wrap me or teleport me in a way. So I wish there were more uses to that glitch, but so far that's all that's been found. It requires a frame perfect menu input, so but you get a bunch of tries and nice boost there. Got boosted forwards. Here's a small cutscene. So I'm entering what is supposed to be the 4th dungeon or the 4th area, but we're not gonna beat that dungeon because we don't have to. What we're gonna do instead is get into a glitch state by pressing pause on the same frame as you take damage. Okay, finally. Wow, that was a lot harder than... Well, it's a 1 frame trick, so I guess it's normal that I miss it a couple times, but like that was 8 or 9 times. That's unacceptable.
What happened?
Yeah, so now we're into, we're next to the area that we normally shouldn't have access to. Wow, the gold coin dropped. That is important that it drops early. I need that gold coin. It's just optimized money routing. You need that gold coin for later items. Whoops, not close enough. But yeah, so that's the glitch. It allows us to skip a dungeon, and
Nice.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It saves maybe 5 minutes, maybe a bit more. I'm really happy about that gold coin drop because it loses a lot of time. Those enemies that drop the gold coin, they have a lot of health. Whoops. That's fine. And I took a death, right? So I only need to take 1 more death to set up the death orb. That's important to keep track of, because sometimes you take a death either farming, well, usually farming the gold coin. If it takes too much time, then you'll usually take a death. And if you forget you take that death, then you go to set up the death orb, and usually you don't want to...
Game over.
Well, yeah, because if you want to be sure, you can like menu, and in the menu you see the amount of lives you have.
Right.
But if you're trying to go fast, you don't want to waste that menu. So if you just forget, then you might just game over. It's happened to me a few times. I wish there was a way to get by this guy. I tried, never found anything. Oops. You can get by him the second time because he doesn't spot you, and when the enemies don't spot you, they don't quite have a hitbox, as you can see. And this is pretty funny because this guy, if you could read what he said, he sounds pretty mysterious, but it turns out he's the boss of the 4th dungeon, but that's the dungeon we skipped, so we never actually met him. And coming up, we're getting the only... that was unnecessary. Might lose me a bit of time. But here we're getting the only gun upgrade that we need. It's the max gun upgrade, so... this does a lot more damage. And combined with an item that we're getting later, it's all we need to yeah, go through the game as fast as we can. As fast as we need to.
And there's 2 other upgrades, you said?
Well, there's there's an armor that can either give you +1 defense or give you +1 offense. And there's also a red bandana, which we are going to pick up because it also powers up your bombs, which is important in the late game. So here, the reason why I farmed the bomb is because there's a sort of a quick kill. It's on the second phase, and saves like 8-9 seconds, something like that. People used to wing it, and I found a really good queue, so hopefully I'll get it this time. Here, taking damage is fine. Probably not that much, but I want to take damage from the hammers because they do more damage than the second phase. That was a bit sloppy, but whatever. So this frame window to throw the bomb is 2 to 3 frames depending on your position. It's pretty precise. I probably missed it. Yeah, I definitely missed it. He's taken a lot more time than he would have if I got it properly, but whatever. The more important quick kills are at the end of the game, so I'll worry about those more. So what's my time? Yeah, I'm probably 2 minutes behind, which is very normal considering how Dungeon 3 went.
Yeah. Blame the bomb block.
Definitely, yeah.
And the timer also started like 10 seconds earlier.
Oh yeah, 10 seconds. Thanks for reminding me. So after this dungeon, we need to go around the map, pretty much like all around the map, to collect a few things. Mainly the uppercut and the headband.
And how are we gonna do that, TM?
Well, to do that, we need to get the flippers,
Ooh.
which is another item that they probably stole from A Link to the Past.
What if they had the idea for this game like way before Link to the Past?
Oh, sorry, but they're still gonna be referred to as a Link to the Past clone.
Aw.
Yeah,
Actually, what is the release date for this?
1997.
So it's way
It's
later than.
Very late.
Yeah, yeah. Even if it took like 3 years to make the game, it's still.
So we took
Copying
that for. Sorry. No,
Copying something that's good is not always a bad idea.
no, exactly. It's a winning. How do you say? Formula. Winning formula. That's what I was looking for. So, the reason we want the gold coin is now we can afford the flippers. The gold coin that dropped earlier. And here is the physically the hardest part of the run, because we're gonna need to mash while holding
So is
the
this
B button.
is this a Link to the Past hover?
It's worse than the hover.
Okay, what the hell? Nice.
Wow.
That was pretty fast, but I have to do it like twice as long after this, and that's where like my arm starts burning.
Why do you have to do that?
Yeah. Every time you press the, because there's a button to make you swim faster, and every time you press it, you go faster. So
I see.
you need to press as much as possible. Whoops. Wow, that's really fast. Can I keep this up?
So technically,
Oh
you
my
could go
God.
infinitely fast.
Oh my god, this is so good. Oh,
Yeah,
I dropped it a few times at the end, but that was probably my best.
You just
No,
saved.
really
You
good,
just saved
yeah.
2 minutes. We're on world record pace now.
Sick. Yeah, that was really good. My arm hurts, but not as much as it normally does. So it's probably because I hadn't played in the last 2 days.
That was a good trick.
So the guy we met on the island earlier is this guy's brother, and he just told me like go see my brother. We already saw this guy. He gave us the big punch. I didn't even mention it, but yeah, he gave us a special ability that you use by pressing Y. But now he gives us the bandana. As you can see, he's... Oh wait, no, he doesn't give us the bandana. He gives us the Shoryuken. As you can see, he has a bandana. So they not only copied Link to the Past, they also copied Street Fighter. This is basically Ryu. And the uppercut is used to go up waterfalls. Yeah,
That's cool.
Wow.
makes sense.
That's the only thing they didn't copy off anything.
Yeah, that's actually pretty original. I like it.
It's pretty neat.
All right. So the headband, what it does is, like I said, I think it pretty much doubles your attack power, and it applies to bombs as well. I think it also does something to your defense, but that's so irrelevant because it's really impossible to die in this game. The only way you can die is like when you lose track of how many lives you have and you're trying to set up a death warp. It's basically the only way it happens. And this next dungeon is really cool. I like it. It's got a few of these locked rooms that you clear pretty fast. Unfortunately, like there's 2, and the solution to the room is the same for both of them. 'Cause it's the same enemies placed in the same way. Not the same enemies actually, but they take the same amount of damage to kill. Here's another example of enemies not having hitboxes sometimes.
What?
Yeah, this room is cool. Look at this. Ah, that's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Looks smooth.
It's weird how like there's no locked doors. Well, now there is, but like most of the rooms aren't locked, even with there's enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you have the choice to go fast or take your time.
Yeah, and like I said, the dungeons are pretty large. We're breezing through them and not like worrying much about enemies and stuff, but see, I messed up both of the locked rooms. That's dumb. But yeah, if you were to explore the dungeons, then maybe health would become an issue. But I still don't know. So important to kill these guys late, because they drop Uzis, and you do not want the Uzi for this fight. The difference between the Uzi and the regular gun is that the Uzi stops your movement, and you need to do a lot of dodging against this boss. So every time you try and dodge, well, you're not shooting, so you're losing time. I'm Sally. I'm Mary. And prepare yourself. Something like that.
Street Fighter ripoff.
Yeah, she kind of looks like Chun-Li.
C'est un plancher de bois franc, ça. Donate pour le plancher de bois franc.
So coming up next, this segment features, well, what we want for the next segment is 2 carrot drops. We haven't seen any carrot drops yet, mostly because they only drop in the overworld. Because what the carrots do is they summon our buddy, the donkey, the one we saved in the first dungeon, and there's the carrot. Nice. Alright, so we had 4 chances. It dropped on the 3rd one. And this is pretty important, as you can see, since you go very fast. But the only moments in the run where it's actually useful, because you go fast, but there's a couple things you can't do. You can't open chests and stuff. So the only moments where you want the donkey are during this segment, but you want him twice. You want him once on the way to the town and once on the way to the next dungeon. I should have shot that guy.
So ideally, you could have him like all the time.
Well, yeah, you can get him as soon as you beat the first dungeon. The carrots start dropping. So.
Is there a task for this game?
No. Do you want to task the game?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I
wonder
weren't
if 55
you
minutes is possible.
watching making one? No, that's
No,
another
it's a
game.
different game.
Oh yeah, right.
And I'm probably not gonna make it.
I'd task carrots everywhere.
Well, yeah. TAS is the only way to get a perfect run in this game, pretty much, because, well, it's not the only way, but according to my friend's math, a perfect run is a 1 out of 800 and something chances.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was planning on doing like a good amount of attempts, just to see if I can farm, yeah, farm that perfect game and not choke. Yeah. The record right now has some pretty good luck, but lost about 10 to 15 seconds in the middle of the run. But since then, I found a couple of quick kills on the bosses that we're about to see. Well, actually, I found one, and fortunately, it affected not only the boss that I'm killing, but the next one also, because I get to keep a bomb. And like I said earlier, bombs deal a tremendous amount of damage. So here we want the second carrot. That was not a carrot.
That was almost a carrot.
It's pretty close, eh? Hey!
Nice.
Go.
That's pretty good.
What's the chance for that?
1 out of 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty good. I'll take it. And it saves like 15 seconds.
So you can't get hit on the
You just run right through enemies
Wow.
like that. See? Yeah, it's super powerful. And it gets you right to the dungeon, so it's super convenient.
Too convenient.
Yeah, right.
Coincidence?
So yeah, this is Ganon Sour. I think I heard someone say it in the crowd. But
That's a twomp.
sorry?
That's Mario 64.
Yeah, that does look like Twomp, eh? Not Twomp.
Womp.
Womp.
Twomp.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, which one is it? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, Womp. The wall.
Twomps. Yeah, twomps.
It's womp.
Whoa!
It's
Okay, okay. I lied. That never happened before.
All right, let's go. That happened.
I never avoided that spark. I don't know how I did it. I knew it was possible, but I don't know how. I don't know how, but I just did it.
Magic.
It's actually pretty sick. it barely saves any time because usually you just get boosted in the right direction anyways. So
What? How many worms are in there?
yeah.
They're just stacked.
Oh, that was pretty sick. Also avoided that. That's kind of tight.
This is amazing fighting going on.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying earlier. That the end of the game, like this game is probably unfinished because this doesn't make sense. Obviously, there is like a whole other half, I guess, almost a half of the dungeon that we didn't need to visit, but it's not much harder. You have so much health, so many lives. Usually.
Nice clouds.
Oh, they're pretty.
Not a loop.
So, update you on the plot. This girl obviously thought you were the boy she knew the whole time.
From high school.
Village. Yeah. Old friend. But she's just now realizing that you were possessed because
Oh, no.
the Baron, the guy who kidnapped the girl earlier, he knows your secret somehow. Don't ask why.
We're possessed by a pretzel entity.
So yeah, this boss has 4 phases. The first 3 phases are similar. He just shoots his gun, but he gets more and more intense with it. And the 4th phase, he'll have a vehicle, I guess. All right, that was decent. Okay. Oh yeah, we did it.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice.
Let's
So
go.
that's similar to the tank boss. That's a 3-frame, 2 or 3 frame windows, depending on where you're positioned.
Right.
The positioning is super precise. It's like a 4 by 2 pixel.
How many
area.
frames per second is this game?
60. As far as I know, like all SNES games are 60 frames per second. I
Okay.
could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. 60 in NTSC and 50 on PAL. So yeah, 2 or 3 frames, but I believe I was in a good enough position for it to be 3 frames. So yeah, that's a really cool quick kill.
Mhm.
I found it completely by accident. I don't know what I thought happened. Like I thought it was my eyes deceiving me, but I went back and checked the replay, and I did indeed beat it with 1 bomb. So I was lucky enough to have the recording, so I could easily figure out what the positioning and the timing was.
Right.
But with my testing in Frame Advance on the emulator, I figured out it was really tight. So I was really lucky to get hit by accident.
And why is the position important again?
The positioning makes it so that the bomb, because the bomb splash.
Right, they do more damage. Okay.
Yeah, the bomb splash goes in. As far as I know, if you look at the explosions, it looks like it bobs to the left and then goes back to the right. So,
Okay.
it's very convenient because if you look at the way the Baron moves, that's exactly the movement he does. He goes to the left and then comes back to the right.
And so he kind of follows the explosion to get more
Exactly.
frames of it and die.
I feel like that's what's happening.
Yeah,
Nobody's ever confirmed it, but
I see.
that's what it looks like. And the timing is what determines whether or not the bomb does twice as much damage. Like it explodes for twice as long, so
Okay.
you get the opportunity to do twice as much damage. So here's the part where everybody now knows that you are not that you're possessed.
The real pretzel.
Yeah. But they choose to accept you because you're saving the town. And obviously, you're still the boy. You're just inhabited by the space sheriff. And there's this romantic story going on. Yeah.
Oh no.
That's what we call anime power-up.
Nice dance.
Yeah. So, we're heading to the last dungeon. Before we go, we are given this 4,000-year-old bomb. It's like a crystal ball, but it explodes. And it's not actually an item you use, but we'll see later. I won't spoil it. So here we talk to our buddy, the other space sheriff, and he says, okay, well, it's time for you to go to the headquarters. I will now allow you to use Roboton, which is the name of the donkey, forgot to mention. But for that, I need to farm a carrot.
Yay.
It's not a carrot.
Nope.
I got 5 enemies on the screen that I can farm.
Okay, so that's more than likely.
It is. Therefore,
Therefore, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Damn it.
See, I had a run earlier this week where I was 5 seconds ahead of PB, and this took me 11 tries instead of 2 in my PB.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
I lost a minute.
They even copied Dampe.
Hey, there it is. Yeah, it's a similar. So instead of riding him, we just teleport. And here we are. We just can't access this without, as far as I know, we can't access this without teleporting to this location.
Mm-hmm.
And here is your favorite part of any Mega Man game, the refights. I guess
Love
it
the
is also
refights.
an element that you see in A Link to the Past in the final dungeon. Whoops.
This game is like, this game is like Led Zeppelin. They just copy songs and they make them good.
Yeah.
It works.
Whoops.
Oh no.
It's 2.5 seconds. Okay, Brazil Maru has a similar quick kill this time, except we don't want to use a bomb because we don't have to, but it's very hard. I need to basically have like, perfect fire rate. Also, I need to get lucky here. I'm not lucky. I want to have all 3 particles of the uppercut connect in order to have a chance to skip this this flame sequence. But it's like completely random. It doesn't have to do with your positioning. It doesn't have to do with your timing. Nobody knows how it works. There's a couple things that remain a mystery about this game. And hopefully we can figure out eventually, because it would help at least make things more consistent.
Is there a good community for this game?
Nah, the community is, I can't say there are any active players right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, you are.
Yeah, except me. People probably don't want to, like, grind this game too much since it's, like, getting a good time is
Luck-based.
not up to you.
Yeah.
So I can understand a lot of people not sticking to this game for too long. But it's fun every now and then. A lot of people come back to it.
The music makes up for it.
It is really good music. Whoops. Okay, that's... I'm not getting that kill. That was dumb. Okay. So this is a refight, but we're only refighting half the bosses. Would have been kind of cool if we had to fight them all, but I guess the tank required a special arena with a hole in it. Wouldn't have been so hard to make, I'm sure. I'm no video game developer, so I don't know. But yeah, like I said, this game is likely to be incomplete. There's a few things that are missing, a few things that are in the game but unused. What's different about this fight is we're going to be fighting both at the same time, so it's a bit harder to dodge stuff, but... Come on, buddy. There you go.
Buddy Pretzel.
All right, so
Is this sub 1?
it's gonna be tight.
Right? Yeah.
Let's go quick kills.
Yeah, the final boss will decide. Because there's like a 1 minute cinematic
Right.
before the final boss. Say 1 minute. I think it's maybe a bit more, but I'm almost there. And the boss, I'm pretty sure I can kill it in under a minute 20. So yeah, this should probably be a 59. We'll see.
Hopefully.
Either way, I had a lot of fun.
And what's your PB?
My PB is a 57.21.
Oh.
What's the record again?
Record is
56?
57.15. And we really want the 56.
Yeah.
Now it's more possible than ever.
1 out of 800?
Sorry? Yeah,
One out of
one out of
800.
819 or something like that. But we'll get it. I promise. So here's the bomb. Pew.
Red.
So this is the Link to the Past map, right?
Yeah, that's the It actually does look a little similar.
Yeah, dude.
This is a Kirby Superstar boss.
Yeah, that looks a bit like Mark's. Oops. Lights. Maestro.
Nice.
Yeah, it's my favorite part. This song is sick. Okay, so I want to get a quick kill on the left arm. It's still pretty precise, so. It's too early. Jeez.
Rip.
He doesn't take damage in this phase, but whatever. Okay.
All right.
And here's the last phase. Time is coming up. Time will be when I lose control of my character. I'll call it when. That was too early. You can tell by the length of the bomb blast.
Those dodges.
Mind games.
Okay, that was a pretty long fight. Time's coming up in like 10
Yay,
seconds.
sub 1.
So get ready and time.
Yay.
All right. Sweet.
Good job, DM.
Thanks. Yeah, that was Gunple Gunman's Proof. Remember the name. It's a
You
really
will.
cool game. It's playable with a translation patch. If you do some quick research, I'm sure you can find documentation, and it's if you need a way to play it, just contact me. It'll be my pleasure to point you to the right direction. It's a really cool game. I think anybody can have fun with it. It's easy enough that people won't struggle with it too much, but yeah, there's a lot of content, I guess. Well, not a lot of content, but there's a lot more than what you just saw. Yeah, thanks everyone. There's like a 5-minute cutscene, 5-minute ending here. I don't know if we want to watch it, but thanks everyone. Thanks to my couch.
No problem.
Yeah. I haven't been in a NoReset event in a while, so it feels good.